have some explaining to do. Hi guys, it is me, Helena, and I am back for another Wednesday, and today I am going to be doing the difference between charter and magnet schools and my experience. But before I get into that, today I need to be explaining to you guys why last week's video was up so incredibly late. So here's a little bit of a story of why it was late, and then we can get into the actual video. Me and my parents went out of town to do some work for my dad's company. I was a PA and a camera operator, and so we were out of town, and the first hotel we went to had awful internet. The file size for my video was very large, and to be completely honest, it was going too slow. I kept the uploading page up for about 24 hours, and it was only 39% done. So I had to wait till we left Clarksville, Tennessee to go to Asheville, North Carolina. And we didn't get there until about 11 o'clock at night, and then I was finally able to upload the video. And I didn't leave for Tennessee until the day before I was supposed to upload my video, so I was editing the whole way there. And then when we got there, I was supposed to be uploading my video while we were working, and it never did upload. And we were there for about 2 days, and then when we got to Asheville, it was, I believe it was Thursday or something like that, and then I was finally able to upload my video. So that's why it was late. I'm sorry about that. But anyways, today's video won't be late, I promise. So anyways, today I'm going to be doing the difference between charter and magnet schools and my experience, because the experience I had at public schools, I wasn't there long enough. I was only in public school for 3 years, and then I went to charter school for 6, and now I'm in a magnet school, and this will be my second year in a magnet school. So I don't really remember my public school experience. With charter schools, everything is a lot more strict. Everything from the dress code to the teachers to the policies are a lot more strict than magnet schools. At the charter school I went to, I got a hair wrap, and I was going to be suspended the next day if I didn't come back to school without the hair wrap, even though in the dress code policy it said nothing about the dress code. They had just not changed the policy for that year, but it was part of the policy. The teachers were a lot more strict. The teachers that are at my magnet school, they are much more understanding of knowing that, you know, even though you're a student, you also have like other things to juggle. They're much more understanding of knowing we're starting to get into jobs and we're doing things, and that we have other things going on in our life besides school. So they're a lot more understanding with the work that they give us. But at charter school, they believed school was your entire life. So honestly, my 8th grade year, all the work that I was given was I had probably 2 times more work I did in 8th grade than I did freshman year. So everything was a lot more strict, and there was a lot more work. And with charter school, academics was before pretty much everything. And I'm not saying magnet school isn't that way either, but I'm saying people understand that your discipline means a lot to you, and at charter schools it wasn't really like that. Like, even though we had sports teams, academics came before sports like a lot. Charter schools are very, very passive aggressive. Like, I don't know if it's like this with all magnet schools, but at my magnet school the teachers are a lot more straightforward, and everybody is a lot more straightforward, and there isn't very much passive aggressiveness. But at my charter school, it was really passive aggressive, especially between the parents. Like, if parents didn't like each other, it was very like kind of passive aggressive. In my experience in the charter school that I went to, there was a lot more like gossip between parents. Like, at the magnet school I go to, not many of the parents know each other, but at the charter school I went to, everybody knew each other starting in kindergarten. So all of the parents knew each other. Like, they had known each other for 8+ years. If their kids had siblings that were in younger grades, then they knew each other for even longer than that. So there was a lot more like gossipiness between the parents, especially about the way that the school was run. In magnet schools, I've noticed more respect between students. And I think that really comes from, in my magnet school, you had to audition to get there. So if you didn't like someone, then you didn't like someone, but you still had to respect them because they got into the school the same way you did. They auditioned, they met the academic level that they wanted you to meet. So it was very much more, there's just a lot more respect in my magnet school than there was in my charter school. The teachers are a lot nicer, and they care a lot more. Like, At my charter school, of course the teachers cared, but they didn't care to the extent that my teachers at my magnet school do. The teachers at my magnet school, they always try to be there for you. My health and PE teacher, she retired, but she was very, she cared a lot about people, and if she noticed something was wrong, then she would ask, and the teachers really would take notice if something was wrong. Like if there was something going on that day, I know one of my teachers once let me, like, after a test, I was allowed to stand outside of class and take a break and just breathe because I was having a bad day. So the teachers care a lot more. There's a whole lot more professionalism in magnet schools, especially as the grades get older. One of my theater teachers said, like, when you hit junior year, you start to be like, I am an artist. So there's a lot more professionalism, and everybody really understands that this is what you want your career to be, or this is your passion. So they're a lot more professional about the way that they go about certain things within their discipline. And in magnet schools, there's a lot more of a community. In my charter school, of course, there was a little bit of a community because we had all known each other for a very long time. And when you think about it, there's always a community between every school. But in my magnet school, it feels, I don't want to say it feels like a family because I haven't been there long enough to consider those people my family, but it definitely feels a lot more friendly, and it feels like people genuinely care about other people. And I remember my freshman orientation, one of the upperclassmen told me it was kind of like going to a summer camp, but with just a lot more academics and just a lot more hours. So that's kind of how my experience has been between charter and magnet schools. You know, charter school was very, very strict, and there wasn't a lot of ability to express yourself. And in magnet school, there's so much more ability to express yourself, and people accept you, and if they don't, then they just don't talk to you, and it's fine because they still respect you because they know that you worked hard to get into the school the same way that they did. So that is it for today's video, or this week's video. Next week's video is going to be the best and worst moments I had in freshman year. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next Wednesday.